Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome in the News 10 Plus desk. Hopefully you're having a pretty good Friday, even though it's a little gloomy outside.
Yeah, gloomy outside, but fun in here. It's the last Friday of the month.
Oh, wow, yes.
And the last Friday before a big game. Talking Lions. We got your blue on. We're super excited. How fun. I can't even, I'm obviously thinking about the game, but I can't even think about it because I get too excited.
So happy.
I'm so happy, so nervous, but just, you're satisfied with the season, but it's just like, oh, we're so close.
Yeah.
But anyway, Studio 10, obviously we're going to be talking a lot about the Lions game, what to expect, kind of what everyone's talking about, because we cannot not talk about the Lions.
No.
But the Lions aren't the only ones that are the talk of the town. Today is technically, it really kicks off Punchki season, according to Quality Dairy. And they're kicking it off in the yummiest way possible with a Punchki eating contest. But it's not like, how many Punchkis can you eat in 1 minute? It's 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm. How many do you think you could do?
I can one.
One's about it, yep.
No, I don't even want to stuff more than one in my face, and I'm Polish. So, yeah, good for them. Rochelle's going to be live from there, and I just said, I was like, you know what? Showcase, I mean, it's all for charity, which we love that, and that's great. But I was just like, I don't know if us or our viewers want to see all of the stuffing of the face, the custard, all of that.
How many do you think Joey Chestnut could do?
Oh my gosh.
I want to know that.
He could easily do like,
I don't know.
Would 20 be too much? No, in 3 minutes?
How many hot dogs can he do again? Too many.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up. I'd have to do some research.
Okay, we'll look some stuff up.
But anyway, it's insane. And we were talking to the organizer, and he said that they have 14 Punchkis lined up in front of everybody, but they have people on standby if people eat more than 14 Punchki in 1 minute, or 3 minutes. Yeah.
No, not happening.
And there's 14 different flavors, and they're all of the different flavors that they offer. Yeah. So it's not even like you're just eating like chocolate ones, which maybe might be good, I guess.
I love chocolate, and tomorrow's chocolate day, apparently.
Yeah, so anyway, tune in for that at 3 p.m. to see something that you maybe never asked for, but you're going to see anyway. They're going to have powdered sugar all over their faces. But anyway, it'll be lots of fun. And also, too, Michigan is also the talk of the town because it's Michigan's birthday. They're turning the young 187.
Oh, so young.
So young.
So many more experiences to go live and
yes.
Happy birthday, Michigan.
Happy birthday, Michigan. So we stopped by the East Lansing Public Library to talk a little bit about how you can celebrate with Michigan publishers, and not just through books, but also pure Michigan activities that they have there. They have hiking kits for kids, bird watching kits for kids, but they also have a bird club.
Ooh.
I mean, we have so many great birds here in Michigan. And then they also have a seed library coming up, so we're going to dive into all of that fun. And then Claudia talked to a Michigan woman who is going viral on TikTok with curls. This is not a good example. So
they're hard.
They are. I have naturally curly hair, and it's a little frizzy today because I haven't brushed it out that much and curled it. It will be for the show, I promise you. But how to tame your curls, how to make them not frizzy, how to embrace them. Sometimes, I do go on air with my natural curls, but, some people don't. But she is going viral for how she's putting it together and tell the story, which I think is the most touch-warming part. So it's going to be a great show for you today on Studio 10. Lions, Punchki, curls, Michigan, books. Can't get any better.
The whole thing.
The whole shebang. Yes.
Looking forward to it, Nicole.
Yes.
All right, and you will see more coming up 3 o'clock today on Studio 10. You can look up at WILX Studio 10 on any of their socials, so you can watch all of those videos. If you can't go and watch them today at 3 o'clock, well, there is where you can go. Or if you want to go send someone anything on the Punchki eating contest, if that was impressive to you, if you see it at 3 o'clock, or anything on Michigan's 187th birthday, or, of course, talking all Lions. So anything like that.
I'm going to try this to not sound so staticky when I do this.
Okay, sounds good. Colton's putting on the microphone, so I'll just keep talking to maybe distract the noise.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay, well, that's good. And we're just going to keep talking more Lions because Colton has his gear on, and we're pumped for the Lions.
I think we're good.
You're good? Yeah?
Hang
You
on.
ready? Oh,
Hang on.
hold on.
No, we're good.
Oh, you're good. Okay. You gotta move the wire.
It's
Got
just,
it.
it's live, right? We gotta make it
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
right?
there you go.
That's all we gotta do.
I like your shirt.
Thank you. Representing NFC North champions, Detroit Lions, obviously ahead of the football game on Sunday.
Yes.
You're watching, right?
I will be there. Yes. Well, not at the game, no, but I will be in front of the TV. That's what I mean by saying I will be there.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine getting tickets though? That'd be awesome.
Supporting in spirit. My spirit will be there. Yes.
Good.
Yes.
But yeah, so exciting stuff as we get closer to Sunday, and we are getting closer to the weekend. But we do have some issues to talk about weather-wise because we saw so much rain come down last night. It was a lot. A lot of places picking up around an inch or so. But when you count in the fact that we've seen all of our snow melt in the last few days and the fact that we saw rain over the last few days, this has added to some flood concerns across mid-Michigan. So that's kind of what I want to start off by talking about is the fact that we have 2 flood warnings that have been issued for the Lansing area. One is for the Sycamore Creek, which runs from the Red Cedar through Lansing into Holt. Actually, it even darts off further to the south of there, but that's where the flood warning's in effect. This one is until 8:30. We're really not expecting a ton of issues from this. The Sycamore Creek actually floods quite often when we see a lot of rainfall, but one of the things that the National Weather Service pointed out, one thing we'll have to watch out for is near Mount Hope Road. There could be some water issues near the road there, so we'll keep an eye on that near the Sycamore Creek. The other flood warning is for the Red Cedar River, which also floods fairly often.
All the time.
So this flood warning is in effect until 10 o'clock Wednesday morning. So that is for the Red Cedar River in East Lansing. And same thing there, very minor flooding both cases, not expecting anything major, but the typical areas along the Red Cedar that do flood. I know like those baseball fields and things like that.
And I've seen students and other people kayaking sometimes on the baseball fields when it's flooded, so it's quite interesting.
Yeah, well, you want to be careful.
Yeah. You don't want to just go out there, risk it, of course.
Right.
No.
Not
a great idea.
And the water can be moving fast, especially when it gets above its banks.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind too. But it is expected, the Red Cedar is expected to crest this weekend, so it's actually going to continue to come up here over the next day or so.
Okay.
And it should crest sometime this weekend at about 7.7 feet. Minor flood stage is at 7 feet. So we're not talking about anything major here. The record, not even anywhere close to that. So it will come up, cause a little bit of some issues, especially there near campus, but I'm not expecting major concerns here. But I did want to point this out, 2 flood warnings that have been issued. The Grand River and some of the other area rivers don't appear to reach flood stage, so they should be okay, but they still might be a little bit higher than normal because of the rain and the snow melt that we've been seeing. Now, we just talked about the Red Cedar, which of course goes right through campus, and this is a look at MSU Skycam. It is behind there, isn't it?
The Red Cedar? Oh, you have to keep going. It's like way
It's
past
on the other
football
side of the
stadium. Yes, it
yeah.
is.
But it's a very gloomy day. We've been seeing a few showers still out there. That is as expected, but it's nothing like what we've been experiencing as of late, especially last night. But our visibility has come down in spots. We're going to see some patchy fog through the afternoon, and then some more dense fog comes in tonight. So we're not quite done with the fog just yet. And there on satellite radar, you can see some of those showers that are developing. And I don't expect anything crazy heavy here tonight, but we will see a few more showers this afternoon into the evening before we kind of finally dry things out. There's a lot more rain off to the west, but I don't really suspect that will move into our direction, but we will see some showers still as we head over the next couple of hours here. So if you have any plans tonight, I'd certainly pack the umbrellas, the coats, things like that, because we'll likely see some showers around the area. And as we head into tonight, we will see the rain actually come to an end tonight. But what's going to happen is we're going to see some fog develop. So I think Saturday morning is going to be pretty foggy across the area. So that's something to keep in mind if you do have any early Saturday plans. But we'll stay cloudy throughout the day, nothing really major coming our way. But what's going to happen Saturday night into Sunday, and this is a system we've actually been talking about for the past few days. Yesterday it looked like it may miss us to the south and east, but now it's looking like it could get a little bit closer to us and bring us a few rain or snow showers. Now this will happen Saturday night into Sunday, but you can see here, that's not all that impressive. No. So even if we do see this, I don't really expect any impacts from it. Maybe a few flakes of snow early Sunday morning mixed with a few raindrops, but other than that, it shouldn't be all that major. Most of the moisture is going to miss us off to the east and won't bother us too much. And then I'll play this through the rest of the day on Sunday. All of that kind of moves away, but we'll be stuck with the clouds Sunday and into Monday, into Tuesday, into Wednesday.
Good.
So most of next week, we're going to see those cloudy skies. So get used to that either way. So here's the weekend. We have temperatures in the upper 30s. We'll see that morning fog tomorrow, but I think the day is dry. And then heading into the weekend, there are those morning rain and snow showers, but again, I don't think it's anything major. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s, which is above normal. Average high this time of year is 30 degrees.
Oh.
So we are above that. And in fact, every day over the next 10 days is going to be above normal. So if you're looking for some snow, not coming. If you're looking for, to get better ice out on lakes and things like that, not going to happen, as we're seeing another thaw here, and possibly even as we head into the month of February next week, we could be talking about highs getting up into the 40s. So it's kind of mundane. It's kind of going back to the weather pattern that we saw earlier in the winter with warm, not much going on.
Stick season.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a northwest flow into next week. So we'll see some weak systems come out of Canada every so often. Another one could come in on Tuesday. But again, it just doesn't look all that major at this point. So nothing significant coming our way anytime soon.
Just minor things happening.
Right. Just minor things happening. And I do want to point out, too, on a related but not the same topic, this morning's sunrise
Oh, never mind. I thought I had
was
to go
at
back.
7:59. So we are finally back in the 7 o'clock hour for our sunrises, and we'll see that continue for quite some time.
And the sunsets and everything, more daylight hours, hopefully more sun. But yeah, we got the clouds to deal with for a little bit.
Yeah, I wish we could see some of that sun, but it is nice that, like, as I get out of work now, it's not dark immediately.
You're not like ready to fall asleep on your ride home? Yeah.
Right. Our sunset is like 5:40 something right now, so that's getting later. Sunrise is getting earlier. So that's a positive spin on things.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, there you go. Lots of excitement. And next Friday, Groundhog's Day. So we will see if there's more winter or spring's on the way.
You know my opinion about that day.
Yeah,
Not
a fan.
But I will say it's good fun and as tradition, and enjoy it if you want to, but please don't take it too seriously.
Yes.
We're
All
not
fun.
the ones forecasting that, so we'll see what happens next Friday.
Yeah, we will see what happens. But again, today, 10-day temperature, or today into the next 10 days, this is the temperature trend. But like Colton was saying, those cloudy skies are going to get some of those minor systems moving into our area. So whether we get more winter, more spring, whatever is coming our way, you can always get updated on the First Alert Weather app.
And we'll post updates in there if any of these systems trend a bit stronger, or if we see any other things come in. Download the News 10 First Alert Weather app. The best part of it all is that it's free and it's available in the Google Play and App Store. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers that have downloaded it and watched our videos, which we really appreciate. We put a lot of work into this app. And you can also get all the useful information in there too, outside of even just your weather forecast. We have information about snow depth. We have information about the rivers. We have all this other stuff that you can find in there too. So it's really, really useful.
All right. Well, thank you, Colton. You can find more information from Colton coming up at 3 o'clock with Studio 10, followed by First at 4. We will see you soon.
Sounds good.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.
All right. Well, here's what else we have coming up today during First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. Coming up on Mid-Michigan Matters today. So tomorrow is Holocaust Remembrance Day, and we want to preview that on Mid-Michigan Matters today. So tune in to Mid-Michigan Matters during First at 4, and we will tell you what you need to know. And then coming up, News 10 at 5, Seth Wells is live in San Francisco as the Detroit Lions are preparing to take on the 49ers with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Very exciting stuff. You can catch Seth again coming up live on News 10 at 5. Coming up, News 10 at 5:30, Riley Connell shares the story of Kevin's song, and she's going to talk about more on that pretty soon here. I like your glasses, Riley. That looks good.
Thank you very much.
Of course. And then coming up, News 10 at 6, it's that time of year again, tax season. Oh, this is going to give me anxiety. Tax season is officially here. So the IRS has announced it will officially begin accepting 2023 tax returns this coming Monday. So maybe you're already getting your W-2s in the mail. I know I have. And yeah, just getting those tax forms ready.
Oh, yeah.
And try not to stress out about it. Don't put it off like I typically do, because that really ramps up
always
the
do.
stress. Yeah, it's not fun.
Some of us have 1099s
Oh,
too.
yep.
They're just a pain.
Very big pain. But yes, tune in News 10 at 6. We'll tell you more about it. And we talked to a tax professional about the new changes. So what you need to know coming up News 10 at 6. But we do have Riley Connell standing next to me right now,
right.
Sharing more on Kevin's song. And so we touched a little bit about this on Mid-Michigan Matters. But going into more detail, what do people need to know about Kevin's song, the Conference on Suicide?
Oh, Awesome. Well, Kevin's Song is a nonprofit organization started by a couple who lost their son, Kevin, to suicide when he was about 41 years old. And this happened in 2013, I believe. It's been a decade, a little more than a decade since they lost their son. And they really wanted to try to bring something positive out of this tragedy that they experienced. And so they decided to start Kevin's Song, which was a nonprofit, something that helps people, cope with the loss from suicide, an effort to, put more suicide prevention tools out there. They do that year round, but they do an annual conference that is really a gathering of some of the biggest minds in suicide prevention right now, which is, clinicians, usually people who are experts in, there's actually a field of study called suicidology, which I learned about for the first time while I was there too, and really bringing these keynote speakers together to share with educators, with doctors, with, school counselors, people who have lost family members and friends to suicide, really a wide variety of people. They bring them together and say, here's the latest research. Here are some tools to cope. Here are some things. The session that I attended was focused on youth mental health. So here are some ways that you can, decompress when you're feeling stressed. Here are some tactics that can limit your anxiety. Here's who you can reach out to if you're experiencing feelings of depression. Really every possible tool that you could need was out there. So I spent the day at one of the day one of that conference gathering a few different stories. So this is just the first of several that are going to come out over the next couple of weeks. But we're starting with the history of Kevin's Song and the story that Gail and John Urso have to share about what they've started and that impact that they've brought to other people's lives. It was a really incredible event to watch unfold. I talked to a lot of people who didn't go on camera, but people I just came across during the day who had come from Kentucky, people who had come from Oregon, people who had come from Florida. I spoke with one woman from Portland, Oregon, whose child had committed suicide a month ago, and she was just so lost and unsure of the why and unsure of what this means for her and her life. And we spoke for a long time, and she said she flew out to this conference feeling like it would really help her to understand and educate. And I spoke to Taylor's guest, Scott, who was on a couple of days ago, and
great guy.
Got really in depth about his story too and his work. And you already know how incredible he is too.
Scott is an attempted suicide survivor. Even created his own support group for those suicide survivors. And yeah, he was one of the speakers actually tomorrow for Kevin's Song.
He is the main speaker for Saturday. And he's been involved with Kevin's Song for a long time and does his own work in different counties across the mid-Michigan, northwestern Michigan area.
Yes. He also said this is the largest conference in the state of Michigan to go over the different resources, prevention, treatment to save those lives.
Yeah, there were a lot of health providers there, a lot of different hospitals, healthcare groups who were there talking about different behavioral therapy options, kind of talking about what kind of treatment is out there, whether that was through medications or through specific therapies, really just showcasing the options that are out there for people. I saw nonprofits who were there for first responders. I've done some stories in the past about first responder mental health, veteran mental health, seniors and elderly folks actually have the highest suicide rate in terms of age range. So some nonprofits focusing on that as well. And of course our young communities, our kids who are school age. So Kevin's Song really brings all of these resources together. And it was such a joy to talk with the Ursos too. They said something that really stuck with me through the day, which was somebody had asked, Gail, Kevin's mother, had asked her if it was difficult to come to the conference every year, if it was difficult to be there, and if it was just
a reminder
and she said no, it's not hard because there's so much positivity and so much hope. So she said it doesn't make me sad, it makes me happy to come together and to hear stories from all the people who are here and know that
It's uplifting.
we can help them. It brought me to tears, frankly, during the interview. It was really, I mean,
Yeah.
it's really, really moving what they've been through. So
Yeah.
we're kind of talking about their story and where it's led them, you know, how it's gotten Kevin's song here today. So if you want to find out a little bit more about that, tune in for our News 10 at 5:30. We're going to dive into that, and stay tuned and up to date with all of our You Are Not Alone mental health series stories. This falls under that. I believe Taylor's got a graphic in here somewhere.
Yeah, there we go.
So, you know, we've been doing stories on this all year long. We have special topics that we're touching on each month. So
Today
please tune
or
into
this
those.
month, this month, even yesterday, David Andrews during News 10 at 6, a personal story, and also speaking to other community members about addiction and alcoholism, and that it doesn't discriminate against any age, and it's a stigma, and it's something that people feel shameful of, or they hide it from their loved ones, and you know that can create some shaky ground and make that challenging.
Certainly. It all comes full circle,
Yeah.
these issues that span across the mental health spectrum, and they can all come back around to impact one another. And anybody suffering any kind of mental illness, you know, there is that that risk that's there, these things that can lead people to think that there is only one way out, and the URSOs are spreading the message that you know, there are other ways out. And to help yourself, it's just a matter of putting that information out there for people to know. You know, a lot of people are in the dark about what to do to deal with, you know, somebody who is in their life who's having suicidal ideation. It's not just intense for that person, but the people around them too. So there were a lot of parents there as well.
Yeah.
A lot of parents, school kids from the area. This took place in Plymouth, so some Metro Detroit schools. But you know, these kids across the state, no matter what school they go to, they're having a shared experience right now as well, the pressures of social media. So
Yeah.
that is one of the stories that's coming up later in the next couple of weeks too, is talking about the youth mental health. But
Well, in Plymouth, from my hometown actually, or not exactly from Plymouth, but around that area, me and my brothers, we've had, you know, fellow classmates who died by suicide, and we know, you know, other students at other schools have also died by suicide, and the response from the community and just the heartbreak and the effort to come together and console one each other and ask each other, hey, how are you doing? Instead of that default response of good, you know, how are you doing? Like, I actually want to know and talk to you and know that you're not alone. I'm here to listen and understand. It's such a powerful thing to be able to open up and be vulnerable with another person, understand where they're coming from without that judgment, right? That's a strong part of it.
definitely, destigmatizing is a big part of it too. And I spoke with some of those students who said, you know, what this really is about is knowing that it's okay to say that you're not okay.
Yeah.
And that is really the start, is that, you know, find a person in your life who you can trust and who you can go to with these feelings. And
Trust.
if we do trust is big. And if we do an education on suicide prevention and mental health that spans across our society, then we, as, you know, general members of society, of our communities, know how to be aware of the signs, know how to respond when somebody comes to us and says, you're a trusted person in my life, I want to tell you how I'm feeling, then we too know what the next steps are. So it is a collective effort,
Domino
to
effect.
prevent. Absolutely. So it was a very transformative day for me. I think
Yeah.
it's hard to find somebody who hasn't been touched by mental illness or by suicide. I think, like you said, even in school, having a classmate who took their own life. I had classmates who took their own life. We've had family members who have suffered mental illness. So it hits home, I think, for everybody. It's one of those things we can all relate to. So.
And something you mentioned right there, family members, classmates, people you talk to on a daily basis. Again, you don't always know what someone's going through. It's what they're showing at that surface level, right? And so you may be seeing these people every single day, and you may have no clue what they're going through.
Absolutely.
So an act of kindness or just being there for someone or helping people find those resources can stretch such a long way.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really looking forward to sharing this with everybody. So
a lot of great stuff, Riley.
yeah, I'm super excited. I know the Ursos were really excited to just share the story, and to them, it's anything that they can do to get that education out there. So tune in News 10 at 5:30 to catch a little bit more about Kevin's song.
All right, we will do that. Thank you, Riley. I know there's a lot to unpack there. So we will show our You're Not Alone mental health series QR code in just a second again. Thank you.
Of course.
And there we go. So Riley's going to work on that again. She's talking more on Kevin's song coming up on News 10 at 5:30 today. Really such a powerful conference. Again, the largest one in Michigan. Providing all of those treatments, prevention, just all of those resources to continue saving lives. So there is the QR code on your screen right now. If you pull out your cell phone's camera, you're able to scan it and pull up the list of resources from around our area. So make sure to check that out. Again, you never know what someone is going through. And so this is just such a great tool to have on your phone, pulled up in your browser if you need to pass it on to anyone else, or, just be guided toward another resource. Again, you never know how the next day may be looking or what's coming your way. So you always want to be prepared with these resources. And maybe it's not just for you, but for someone that you do or don't know. So make sure to go check that out on the QR code. And also, we will have more stories from community members as well as health experts speaking on more of those resources and treatments. And again, talking with community members on their own personal experiences, so you're not alone. There are people going through it too. And again, David Andrews sharing his personal experience with alcoholism and being sober, which is great. He celebrated that anniversary recently. And David, 10 years sober? 14 sober. So since 2010, he has that story. And it's not just, him sharing his story, but with other community members as well. So know that you're not alone. There are resources out there for you, and you can go check that out on WILX.com or all year long here on News 10. We will be airing those stories for you so that you know you are not alone. We have Tanaya and Justin Kent out and about, so we are going to share what they have coming up during our 90 minutes of news today.
The excitement for the Detroit Lions Championship Sunday couldn't be any more real. It's all across the state. I spoke with a couple of local businesses selling the swag and, of course, the sweets. I'll have more on that story coming up for you guys in our 6 o'clock news.
Oh my goodness, I love this. Okay, coming up, you're going to see Justin Kent previewing the Lions in News 10 at 6, so go check it out. And then we have Tanaya Jordan, News 10 at 6. This is what she has coming up. Tanaya?
Hey, News 10 viewers. If you received a text message from USPS saying that your package can't be delivered unless you send personal information, the Better Business Bureau says don't send any. I'll have more tips coming up today on News 10 at 6.
All right, thank
Back to you.
Thank you, Tanaya. Yes, hearing about a lot of scams going on in the area, so making sure you are protecting yourself. Tanaya's going to have more of that coming up News 10 at 6 today. I do want to show you a live look at our MSU Skycam right now because Colton was showing it about 10-15 minutes ago, and look at it. There is raindrops covering the entire camera. You can't even really tell that we're looking at MSU. But there we go. Michigan State University, that is a live look over their campus. And so if you are out on the roadways, be a little careful. Colton was talking about possible flooding in certain areas, so make sure to check that out. And especially near Michigan State University with the Red Cedar River, all of that snow melting, and of course that rain coming down. And also in areas don't really have as much nature, the grass, they have more cement, sidewalks. That water is really just going to keep running around. So if you are out on the roadways, be careful of those puddles. Just slow down and be aware of that. But you can always tune in to Colton coming up 3 o'clock today in just under half an hour for Studio 10. He will give you the latest updates on the fog, on the flooding, the rain, and even more systems moving into our area. But that is what we have today coming up on News 10. Again, Studio 10 comes up in less than a half an hour, followed by First at 4, and then our 90 minutes of news. So have a great Friday, go Lions, and have a nice rest of your weekend.